This hearing just exploded. Congressman Pat Ryan just told Secretary Pete Hegseth his leadership is weak and demanded he resign. This is about keeping our military neutral, and you need to see what happened.
Goes back. Chair, and I recognize the gentleman from New York, Mr. Ryan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you both for being here. We have all worn the uniform. We've all served in combat. We all love our country. We all revere our troops. And I really want to speak with you both, not as partisans, but as patriots. And I want to talk specifically about the events at Fort Bragg the other day. General Kane, I want to start with you. As a junior officer, were you ever required to make a pledge of political loyalty? Yes or no?
Sir, as you know, we're
General,
an apolitical military,
time.
so, no.
Thank you. At any time in your 30-plus years of incredibly distinguished service, did you have to make a pledge of partisan or political loyalty?
No, sir.
Thank you. Did you ever serve in any unit or command at any level where service members were required to make a pledge of political loyalty?
No, sir.
Thank you. And I want to commend you. You've been on the record on this, including in your confirmation hearings where you clarified, quote, "I've never worn any political merchandise or said anything to that effect." I appreciate that. That is the standard, and commend you for saying so and continuing to model that. General Kane, one last question for you. Should soldiers have to pledge political loyalty to participate in an event with our commander-in-chief? Yes or no, please.
Sir, I'm not. First, no. I'm not aware of any time in history that soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines have been asked to do that. I think.
And I'm sorry, General. I do want to, just in the interest of time, I want to talk about what happened at Fort Bragg 2 days ago. There was guidance put out, and this has been verified by multiple independent news outlets, saying, quote, these are to the soldiers of the 18th Airborne Corps and the U.S. Army. If soldiers have political views that are in opposition to the current administration, then they need to speak with their leadership and get swapped out. This is swapped out of the event with the president. In addition, in an incredibly disturbing incident, there was a pop-up shop selling MAGA merchandise on post at Fort Bragg. And to summarize this, there was a commander from Bragg who said on the record, quote, "This has been a bad week for the Army, for anyone who cares about us being a neutral institution. This was shameful." If those are the facts, and I know the Army is investigating at least the MAGA pop-up shop, is that appropriate, General Kane?
Sir, I haven't seen any of these reports. I'm not familiar with them, but as I mentioned earlier and in my confirmation hearing, the nation demands a apolitical, nonpartisan military.
I appreciate you saying that and happy to share those reports. Secretary Hegseth, are you familiar with DoD Directive 1344.10? Political activities of the members of the armed forces?
Well, first off, I don't buy into your
yes or no?
insinuation
Are you familiar
that pledges
with,
are being done under this administration. That's
I reclaim my
insinuation.
time. Are you familiar with this DoD directive?
There's never one time in my service or in this
Mr.
Defense
Secretary,
Department.
will you please answer
I'm answering your
these
question
questions?
where politics has been considered for service members.
Are you familiar with this directive? Yes or no?
Which directive?
DoD Directive 1344.10. I'm happy to provide you a copy. There's even a one-page red and green cheat sheet. Are you familiar with it? This is the same directive from when we were all in uniform.
I'm sure I am.
Has anything changed in that directive under your guidance, given what happened 2 days ago at Fort Bragg? Is there a new policy change that we're not aware of?
Again, I totally reject your insinuation.
Is there a policy change to DoD Directive 1344.10?
I know what you're attempting to insinuate, but there's
I'll
been
take
no
that as a
policy
no.
change and there is no policy.
Mr. Secretary, have you ever worn a MAGA hat in front of the troops?
I own plenty of MAGA hats, but I don't.
Have you ever worn one in front of the troops at an official event? I don't believe
aware
so.
of.
I don't believe so. Do you think it's appropriate for the President of the United States to wear political merchandise, including a MAGA hat, at official events, including West Point commencement?
The Commander-in-Chief
Yes or no?
can wear whatever hat he wants, to include the phrase, "Make America Great Again," because I would like to make America great again as well.
So you think that's appropriate?
The Commander-in-Chief has the right, in front of his troops, to wear whatever he'd like.
Okay, I strongly disagree with you. And I urge you both, especially you, General Kane, as we see an increasingly political rhetoric, including from the Secretary, to please, for the good of our troops, this is an incredibly difficult moment, and we need leaders like you to continue to echo the apolitical nature. I have 12 seconds. Mr. Secretary, I don't say this lightly. I have to say this on the record. I think your tenure as Secretary of Defense has been shameful and weak, and you should resign. I yield back.
Gentlemen.
Pat Ryan just lit up Congress, and this moment is bigger than a headline. It's about the future of a military that belongs to all of us, not to one political party. Ryan, a combat veteran and West Point graduate, opened by reminding everyone that this wasn't about Democrats or Republicans. This was about protecting the core principle that the U.S. military serves the Constitution, not a politician. He pressed General Kane with a simple question. In more than 30 years of service, had he ever been asked to pledge political loyalty? The answer was clear. No, never. That's the way it's supposed to be. But then Ryan revealed what sparked his outrage: verified reports that soldiers at Fort Bragg were told to step aside if they didn't support the administration, and that a MAGA merchandise shop had popped up on base. That crosses a bright red line. The military is supposed to be apolitical, by law. There's a DoD directive that spells this out. This isn't some partisan talking point. It's about trust, morale, and national security. When Ryan turned to Secretary Pete Hegseth, he pressed him on whether policy had changed, whether this kind of behavior was being tolerated under his watch. Hegseth denied it, but Ryan didn't back down. And then came the moment that stunned the room. Ryan told Hegseth directly, "Your leadership has been shameful and weak, and you should resign." That was not grandstanding. That was a veteran calling out what he sees as a failure to protect the integrity of the armed forces. And it matters, because once you turn the military into a partisan tool, you risk undermining the very democracy it's sworn to defend. This is exactly why this clip is going viral, because it's about more than politics. It's about whether we still believe in a country where the military serves everyone equally, no matter who's in power. If you care about keeping the military neutral and professional, share this moment. Talk about it. Let your representatives know this matters to you. And if you think Pat Ryan was right to say what he said, hit like, drop a comment, and make sure more people see this. This conversation is just getting started, and it's one we can't afford to ignore.